first, as I'm sure you know, today is Halloween, so we thought we'd fill you guys in on everything you need to know about how this terrifying tradition came about. Here's Nina to fill us in on the history.
So it's the time of year where things start getting a little spooky and some terrifying traditions begin. Trick-or-treating, dressing up, pumpkin carving and telling scary stories, to name a few. But have you ever wondered why? Well, let me tell you more. We all know what Halloween is, but have you heard of Samhain? Well, this is sort of where Halloween came from. It's an old Celtic tradition that is still celebrated around the world today. The Celts believed Samhain was the day in the year where the gap between our world and the world of the spirits was very thin, so spirits could easily get through. This eventually joined up with the Christian festival of All Saints' Day to create All Hallows' Eve. Yes, you've got it, Halloween. Who is making that noise? Well, what about the traditions? Well, trick-or-treating had its beginnings in medieval England. Yep, it began hundreds of years ago when people used to go from door to door offering to pray or sing a song for people's families in exchange for food. But it wasn't called trick-or-treating back in the day, it was called souling. It happened around All Souls' Day, a special time where Christians prayed for their loved ones. It carried on through the Victorian era, and people think this is how trick-or-treating became a British tradition. So what about creepy costumes? Well, that's another tradition that comes from the Celts. They used to wear spooky outfits to try and scare away any spirits that might be hanging around. Can you pack that in? I'm trying to record a video here. Right, let's crack on. So that's costume sorted, but what about pumpkins? For this, we're going to have to travel to Ireland. There, people didn't start with pumpkins, they actually started with turnips. Spooky faces would be carved up on the turnips to scare away a mythical spirit called Jack that people believed walked around at this time of year. Then, in the 19th century, many Irish people moved to America, where they found pumpkins easier to grow, and that's how we got these. I think I did an all right job, didn't I? What do you reckon? So there you have it, a brief history of Halloween.
Great work, Nina. Well done. Well, so many of you have been letting us know what your spooktacular Halloween plans are over on our website. Sage Mushroom said, I'm going to my grandma's house and then I'm going to go trick-or-treating as a skeleton. Nice one. Wolf Girl told us, after school on Monday, I'm going to my friend's house for Halloween games and then going trick-or-treating. And Crazy Climbing Chameleon said, I'm going to carve pumpkins and show them on my window, go on a light trail and have a Halloween disco at school. Lovely. And Crystal News said, we're going trick-or-treating. We're throwing a party at our house and we're baking for the party. Nice one. I wish I could come. Okay, let's get some sports news now. As history was made in the Women's Super League last night, as Arsenal set a new record of 13 successive wins with their 3-1 win over West Ham. Sticking with football, and Celtic kept their 4-point gap at the top of the table with a 3-0 win over Livingston. And England are celebrating becoming the first physical disability rugby league World Cup champions. They beat New Zealand in the final in Warrington, winning 42-10. The victory completes an unbeaten tournament for England, who won all 4 of their matches. Next, it was, of course, the Halloween special on Strictly this weekend, full of frightfully fun costumes and seriously spooky songs. But one couple had to hang up their dancing shoes. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched yet, look away now. In a terrifyingly tense dance-off, James and Amy were the 5th couple to be voted off, leaving Fleur and Vito to dance their way to next weekend. Here's what James had to say.
Look, I'm dancing against Fleur East. I went out there, I gave it my best, but she is phenomenal. So I was up against it anyway. So yeah, look, I've had the best time on this show. I've got a friend for life, and yeah, all I can do is thank the family. I've got a new family,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, if that isn't enough for you, here's what else we've got coming up. These spooky houses that are definitely in the Halloween spirit. And the world's longest passenger train. But before all that, let's take a quick look at the stories on the website today, including it's good news for Phillip Island, also known as Penguin Island, as it's celebrating a record-breaking number of penguins. Find out how young people will have their opinions heard at the Climate Summit, COP27. And we want to see your Halloween pumpkin pictures, so head online and get involved. Okay, next, let's take a look at this really long train. It was full steam ahead for a rail company in Switzerland, which has set the record for completing a journey with the world's longest passenger train. The train itself is over a mile long and made up of 100 coaches. It travelled just over 15 miles through the Swiss Alps, passing through 22 tunnels and crossing 48 bridges. Wow. Next, it's Monday, so that can only mean one thing. It's time to get some happy news. Here's Nina.
What could be happier than the sun? Well, how about a sun with a grin? A NASA satellite captured an image of what appeared to be a happy face pattern on the sun recently, causing many to say that the sun was smiling. Despite its friendly look, experts say that the patterns are caused by a storm on the sun's surface. In New York, in the US, they found a way to brighten people's day by giving their waste collection trucks a makeover. 5 of the trucks are serving as canvases for artists creating artworks in the theme of recycling. Now that's what I call rubbish art. Finally, here's a happy parade. The 2022 Fantasy Fest Masquerade March happened in Florida recently. People paraded through the streets of Key West wearing costumes themed as cult classics and cartoon chaos. There's the dragon from Shrek, Looney Tunes characters, some Oompa Loompas and people painted blue. Brilliant!
Thanks, Nina. What a busy lady. Well, we've talked a lot about Halloween today, but I've got to show you this before I go. Have a look at these houses. They have gone all out with a graveyard in someone's front garden. Loads of spooky lights and even an enormous spider with eyes that light up. Fantastic decorations, guys, but not as scary as some of the jokes in this bulletin. I'm sorry. That's all from the team for now, but as always, head online for absolutely loads more and have a lovely Halloween. Bye.